Looky what we got here, a multi-assault tank. Watch yourself, kid. Select your battle tank. Okay, good luck. Wing leader to base. Wing leader to base. Commencing operation. 3, 2, 1, go!
My previous videos have focused on vertical shooters and have helped paint a picture of how my disdain towards them started and then faded years later. I covered Batsugan, which was the game that reignited my interest in the genre, and also Gigawing, which showed just how much of a big kid I was as I still spent my days in arcades at 22 years of age. Well, this video is all about a game that I consider to be one of my favourite bullet hell shooters. But it's not quite my favourite. That will come soon. DonPachi is a 1995 vertical scrolling shooter arcade game developed by Cave and published by Atlus in Japan. The game was conceived as a project that evoked the same spirit from shoot-em-ups created by Toaplan, a request Atlus wanted as publisher, though conflict emerged as how close the game should be to Toaplan shooters, while members at Cave pointed out elements uncharacteristic from Toaplan during development.
Looky what we got here, a multi-assault tank. Watch yourself, kid. More shots!
DonPachi features a scoring system known as the Get Point System, or GPS. By destroying large groups or chains of enemies in a short period of time, the player can build up a number called a combo, similar to the kind found in fighting games. They receive an increasing number of points with every enemy they shoot down. The more enemies the player hits in one chain, the more points they receive. This system brings a new challenge after the player has cleared the game. Plot out the stages to achieve a high score, which maybe explains the repeat playthrough, which I had always found a cheap move, but in DonPachi is a bit less frustrating, as racking up those combos is just as satisfying as it is in fighting games. DonPachi proved to be popular among Japanese arcade players, but was later deemed by Cave to be a creative failure, which is very harsh, I think, as DonPachi has proved to be a very popular shooter over the years, no, decades since its release. When I first played this in booths in late 1995, I was more than a little surprised, especially as I seen the game being booted up and caught my very first glimpse of this warning. This was not a game that was intended for release in Europe. It kinda made sense to me though. Glasgow was full of console importers over the years, and the sale of Japanese Super Famicom, Mega Drive, PlayStation and Saturn games was not exactly illegal, but not really all above board. So of course, arcades were going to follow suit. And this was a good thing in my book, as this opened up arcades over here in the UK to a whole new world of video gaming. games that maybe would not have been deemed popular would now get a chance to approach a different audience. And hey, it's not like I was going to report the place. If it worked for him and made him money, then more power to him, I say. And after my experience of Batsugan, I was desperate to play another one of these bullet hell games and challenge myself. And what a challenge DonPachi provides. It is super tough. It's definitely more in your face than Batsugan, and the waves of bullets just drown out the action at times. But the sense of atmosphere in this game was amazing. You had this really annoying commentator guy who would announce the arrival of a big tank and stuff like that. But it was all just part of the immersion of the game. You really felt like part of the action. And visually, well, it wasn't going to blow anyone's socks off. What with arcades starting to fill up with more and more 3D polygon games that had now moved to texture mapping as well. So games like Virtua Cop and Virtua Fighter 2 just look so damn good. But there is a wholesome quality about sprite-based games during this same period. And hey, would 3D polygons being a good choice for this kind of game? Who really knows? But from my experience, I preferred this look to my arcade games for sure. I favoured X-Men vs Street Fighter to Tekken and the like. But then again, I am proper old school like that. But back to DonPachi. And as I said, the visuals are very appropriate for the genre and look really good. With a good mix of small and large sprites and some really good looking backdrops. I really like all the destruction that gets left in your wake, and the explosions are superb as they leave this very small trail of smoke behind. The enemy bosses look good. There is a lot of detail in some areas and not so much in others, but when you are blowing all hell out of them, what does it really matter how they look? As long as you get to blow them away, right? The sound is a little bit weird. The background music sometimes sounds like it was recorded in a bathroom or something. It's a little echoey and tinny at times. Like that sound you get from really poor quality speakers. There's no real clarity. But the tunes themselves are pretty catchy and help keep pace with the absolute frantic nature of the action. The sound effects in this game, well, I just love these. The player's fire sometimes sounds like an Uzi, but it's when you start shooting the bigger craft, the amazing thumps and explosions sound fantastic. And then we have the commentator. He can be annoying at times, but it's when he says, "Couple more shots," you can really hear the intensity in his voice. My favourite sound effect though has to be the cameo from Dirty Harry in this game. Once you beat a level, you get the score tally and then you hear these Magnum 44 gunshots. One shot for each bomb you still have left. And I know what you're thinking. You are thinking, did I keep 6 bombs? Or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, I have forgotten myself in all this excitement. and this game is exciting. It does play very similar to Batsugan in my opinion, but where this game differs is with the added atmosphere from the commentator and the whole points multiplier thing. When I was playing it through for this video, I just loved racking up the multiplier, and yes, I did have to play the game with tool assistance to complete it, but so what? It's not like I'm trying to convince anyone I'm this expert gamer or anything, but if I was playing it honestly, it would be a very short video. But removing the tool assistance does unveil this incredibly challenging game, and from my experience, playing it in the arcades, I can remember it being a real coin muncher, and the gameplay was just so addictive. It really is. It's what I think the very definition of a video game should be. It's loud, it's bright, it's busy, it's challenging, and it's addictive. Who could ask for more?
Hey, this is it, kid. Make every shot count.
At 19 years old, I was still very much a fan of video games, and with me having a full-time job and still living carefree, I would make regular trips to Glasgow to go to booths, to play loads of great games. But there was something missing. My schoolmates were either in uni or had decided to give up playing video games, as they considered these things childish. And so, the chance for two-player laughs was never really there. But I failed to see why I should give up doing something I enjoy. I didn't see video games as being childish, especially as the PlayStation had just been released in the UK at this time, and was considered the ultimate student accommodation accessory. And speaking of the PlayStation, this game did appear on that console, but I honestly do not ever recall seeing it in the shops anywhere. If I did see it, I would have bought it for sure. But only a few years later, I got to play it on MAME. Thank God for that little nostalgic treasure box of great memories. I do wholeheartedly encourage anyone to give DonPachi a go on MAME. It's such a fun little game, and it's a pick up and play game which is so refreshing when compared to today's games, where you have to pick through multiple settings before even getting to level 1. And that was my look back at DonPachi. If you liked this video, then please do give me a sub and a thumbs up, or maybe even a comment or two below about your memories of DonPachi on any format. And a massive thank you to all of those who have subscribed to my channel. Your feedback and support really does go a long way in helping the channel grow, and I do appreciate all of the comments and all of the feedback. So it's a big thanks from me. And that's all from me, folks. Thanks for watching.